Well, this is Fantasyland. And I'm gonna try to work my way through this fairly quickly. As you can see, there's a pretty large area that it covers here in our pine woods. It's a real quiet morning this morning. There's lots of wind chimes that hang out here, but this morning it just so happens there's no wind whatsoever. So anyway, I'll try to take you on the tour. You see we've got a little log cabin here. That's something that my son Rob built. And I did the foundation and the chimney. But we've got little guys climbing up each end of it. Don't know why, but they are. But anyway, before I get past it, I'm gonna take you over here to the lake. I should have done this back in the spring before the leaves started falling, but we're starting to have a lot of leaves coming down. But anyway, we've got some little guys in here. Got one that's surfing. And a couple of little guys fishing. I'm getting a little too close. Got a little guy over here in this corner that's fishing. We've got a little guy up there that's fishing. We've got frogs and turtles. We've got a big old turtle here heading for the lake. And I believe that this little guy must be just a little bit leery of him. But as you notice, he's getting ready to go surfing. And he's even wearing his mankini. But we've got our palm trees. Got some more frogs. Got a little guy here, been sunbathing, and I think he's really burned to a crisp. But then we've got the frogs in the swing. Got another little guy getting ready to go fishing, and as you can see, he's left his little old truck over here. Obviously did not read the sign. But anyway, to go back to the other side now, there's the cabin. And we've just got gnomes everywhere out here. I will not try to show all of them. I'll just give you just kind of a view of how many there are, and I'll point out some of the more interesting ones. Now the little mushrooms that you see up here, I made those. And like you see the little red ones back there, I've got mushrooms all over in here that I made. Here's one that I kind of like. I guess because he reminds me a lot of me. That's Clumsy Carl. But we've got an owl who's standing watch. We've got gnomes hanging in the trees. But got a little guy curled up with a fox. Now as we go on just a little bit, you see back there we've got a Pegasus and a toad house. Well, one thing about it, these little old gnomes, I guess they like to have a drink every now and then. So we've even got a beer garden. I think that little old guy there, he's been hitting the bottle maybe a little bit too much. And that one there, goodness only knows how long he's been drinking. Obviously a while. And we've even got a cop. A noisy truck going by, I know that. And of course, being around the tavern, you know, they've got to have a place to go after they've been doing all their drinking. So I do believe the guy inside the outhouse, I think he's gone in there and fallen asleep. That little dude there, he just couldn't wait. You see, he's got to hold his nose. I don't know what he's been drinking, but it must have been pretty bad. But anyway, we have gnomes in the trees. We've got one little guy here from the beer garden. I'll go back to show him. Looks like he's definitely been drinking a while. He's just emptied his bottle. But we've got gnomes playing patty cake. We've got bears. We've even got little bears hanging in the trees. We've got little guys here. Must be getting some kind of sap. I'm not sure what. We've got our deer family. And you'll notice I've got ferns and hostas all over. Now here is one that I really, really like. That's Tubby. Went out behind a tree trying to get a bath, but these gnomes are everywhere, so he's not getting much privacy for his bath. But if you'll notice, there's gnomes sleeping everywhere. I guess that must be because they must do most of their shenanigans at night. Got some there playing checkers. We've got the butterfly hunters chasing a butterfly. We've even got the Great Garden Gnome Massacre. If you'll notice, that dinosaur has captured several little gnomes. We have more dinosaurs hatching out. Another little dude sleeping. We've got squirrels. More mushrooms. Now there's one I really like. You see the newlyweds? He's bringing her a bouquet of flowers. Such a nice guy. And she's going to teach him right from the get-go. She's got the frying pan. She's getting ready to straighten him out. We've got a bobblehead playing with a rabbit. And we've got a big cat. That sucker looks mean. And let's see, like I say, I'm not going to show you all of them. It would take me an hour video to do that. I'll just show you some of the cuter ones, or at least what I think are the cuter ones. Got the little guy with his mushrooms. Here's this little guy sitting on the bench trying to carve a little heart. I think he's got a crush on one of the fairies. Actually, I think it's this one over here. But here, we've got a little guy that likes to dig holes. I don't know why. And I guess this poor little guy has fallen in one of the holes. And he's got his old lady trying to pull him out. Doesn't look like she's having much luck so far. And here we've got a little fella trying to play golf. Guess he didn't have a golf ball, so he thought he'd use a little geode, which I'm just thinking might be a little painful to these other gnomes. But here we've got a little owl in the tree. And we've got some little bears. Up there we've got a howling coyote. Another fairy. And here we have Grandpa Gnome. Got the new little grandson. We got some bunny rabbits. And here we've got a couple living in the tree. Of course, they had to have an outhouse. We even have a Bigfoot. Now that dude is creepy. We have the Grumpy Gnome Zone. We've got a little guy riding a turtle. We have the possum. And of course, we have to have Romeo and Juliet. Got a big old fox. Let's see. There we've got a redneck gnome. Looks like he's got his shotgun and a rabbit. A few teeth missing. We've got a guy playing leapfrog with a frog. If I could walk around here where you can see him. Some little guys playing cards. And here we have some baby gnomes. And we've got the little guy over here who is taking their picture. We've got a big old raccoon. There's another bear. And a peacock. And now before we get by, I'm going to turn around and let you see the other side. We've got a gazebo with a bench inside. We've got some little guys having wiener roast. We've got a shelter house with a picnic. And then we got some other little guys down here. They're roasting marshmallows. We got some little guys here that are trying to get ready for winter. They are chopping wood. And now we'll come back around behind. We've got a biker. We've got another biker and another tractor. We have got Gnome on the Range. Back when I used to drive a truck, you always would hear about the jackalopes out west. I never really thought they existed, but I don't know. Here we go. There you see we've got the nasty little gnome who is trying to keep the prowlers out. Here you'll see they've tried to build a little road. Big rains have tried to wash it out, but I think this probably is the I-69 bypass. But anyway, here we've got a little fella who must have busted his britches, and his old lady's trying to fix them. And you know, Rob's so handy with the woodworking, that he built me a little grist mill for Christmas. And I thought, well, if we've got a grist mill, we've got to have some water. I really didn't want to go to the trouble to make a little water feature out here. So I decided that I would build a fake one. I mean, it's a fantasy garden, right? So he built me a little covered bridge. And I built this little fake stream. And I thought, well, you know, the good Lord gave me an active imagination. And I just kind of felt that I wanted to make a sign to put out here with it. But anyway, so we've got skunks, fairies, peacocks, Pegasus, well, that's the unicorn actually. Gotta turn around and show you. It's kind of messy with pine needles and whatnot, but we've got gnomes here who are trying to raise morel mushrooms. Looks like they're doing better than most of us. Alright, so to come back around, we've got a little treehouse stump with a squirrel. Got the little bobblehead here that's trying to sweep it up. We've got some little gnomes that are so happy they're dancing. Got a couple sitting out here in the shade of the big mushroom. And we got one here. He was just having a time. The other gnome's going around kicking sand in his face, and he got tired of it, so he decided he was going to have to bulk up just a little bit. We got another one out here in the outhouse. We have a raccoon climbing the tree. We've got another one taking a nap. Got another fairy. Got a couple over here that's prepared for a rainy day. And here we've got the little guys trying to get themselves a bucket of water. And that's just a real quick little tour, but I guess I can say, other than looking at the individual gnomes along the way, you've seen it all.